It's all over, but the cry.
With the world poised on the brink of war, Vault-Tec is reporting a record number.
Hello and welcome to GRTV's Game of the Year Countdown. We are now on Game 2 of the year. We're getting closer and closer to the top seat.
The silver medal.
Yes, the silver medal today. And, well, the game is obviously Fallout 4.
Well, guess I wear this t-shirt for nothing.
Yes, so to help us talk about the game, we do have here on Skype Mike Holmes, Editor-in-Chief of Gamereactor UK, and Bengt Lemne, Editor, Gamereactor UK.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yes. So, Fallout 4, my most anticipated game of the year by far, and I still haven't touched it.
It's because you keep playing Duck Game, Dóri. You need to play something else.
Yes.
He loves his duck game.
Yep.
Just waiting for the next patch.
Yeah.
Always waiting for the next patch.
Yeah. Waiting when Overwatch beta is offline, he's waiting for it to go online again.
True.
Yeah. But let's do the roundtable thing and have our initial thoughts on why this belongs on our Game of the Year list.
Yes.
So obviously not you.
No.
So
but,
let's start. Bengt, why do you think Fallout 4 belongs on our list?
Well, it's always hard to sort of measure great games against each other, but I think, for me it all boils down to what game entertained me the most and got me the most hooked. And I think for me it is Fallout 4 this year. It's just, the fiction is just brilliant. It's a game that has its quirks, but there are so many positives that sort of outweigh the little things that you don't like about it. So it's just the overall feeling. Thankfully I wasn't reviewing the game, so I haven't played it 60 hours in a week. I've spread it out a little bit more. I'm not even halfway through the story, but I'm like maybe 50-60 hours into it, something like that. Doing a lot of the side missions and that stuff, and just getting to know the characters, and reading terminals and learning about what they did in those vaults is just tremendous fun, I think.
So, Mike, your initial thoughts on Fallout?
I love the kind of the updated setting and the noir undertones. That was probably what I enjoyed the most about my time with the game. The thing that kind of I don't mean to. The reason why I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to is because I feel like it didn't take as big a step as I thought the game possibly could have done. And I feel like it feels like a really sexy version of Fallout 3. And there wasn't as much progress on that front. And it still feels like you're talking to mannequins when you're engaging in conversation.
Yeah, well.
But the writing is superb, and the character work is great. The setting is great. There's so much to do, and whilst I don't necessarily personally buzz off the base building element of the game, I thought that this is the kind of game that you can just easily lose yourself in for 100, 200 hours. You can go back and replay it from different perspectives and different characters and role play it differently and have a completely new, fresh experience. And those games don't come around too often. And when they do, you've got to embrace it, and you've got to make the most of it.
Yeah. What about you, Magnus?
Well, the thing is, contrary to Mike, I spent 25 hours never leaving Sanctuary. Because something happened when I was introduced to the base building aspect of it, and I lost days of my life just being in Sanctuary. And it got to a point where I started making apartment condos in the sky where I was sort of thinking to myself, well, the map is pretty big, and there's a lot of quests out there that I haven't done, and I've never to this point I've only just gotten to Diamond City, a point that's very, very early in the game. So what happens to me, like very, very surprisingly at least, was that there is this small, I know it's a big system that they debuted like at a conference stage, but in terms of the game actually presents itself, it's not that big a deal that the base building system is there. They didn't have to put it in, but they did, and it's huge for the people that choose to enjoy it or choose to spend time with it. And I just thought that that's one of those little things that very much outweigh that the game has some very serious bugs and glitches that are to be expected in a big Bethesda RPG that's still annoying as hell. But it's just, there is an attention to detail there that is so not to be found anywhere else, which is why I think they're so revered in the industry, which I really appreciate them for. And you can, as you can say, it is about getting lost. It is about surrendering yourself to the world that they present to you. Same thing with Skyrim, same thing with Fallout 3. So I don't mind it being a straight sequel. That is very much builds on the fundamentals that was like the framework that was established in Fallout 3. But I really appreciate it for that. There is a joy in getting what you expect. And not being, because not every game needs to like reinvent the wheel and blow you away. There is the framework that I love with just more great things, and one of the base building is one of them. Better shooting, I think also. Yeah. Like the core aspect of pointing your gun at something and shooting it feels much better this time around. So I really enjoy it for that.
For me as well, like now that I've gotten pretty far into it, I think that the way they've rebuilt the whole experience system, the whole perk system is brilliant, because it actually means that you're going to be way more, you can be way more creative about how you build your character. And kind of what I always do when I do a character in an RPG is that I'm kind of conservative, so I tend to spread out the points a little bit across the board and make sure that I'm not too weak in any one area. And then for this one I went with a lot of charisma, and then later on I started to pile on to agility as well. But you can really do weird builds and builds that are almost unplayable, but once you unlock certain perks, it will be tremendously powerful. So that it's almost like game-breakingly powerful, the way you can build out things. And I think that's really what's going to add longevity to this game, is that once you've played through the main game, you probably want to re-roll with a completely weird, strange character, maybe max out luck and go that route, or maybe go with a really stealthy character and do that way, or perhaps really go into being able to persuade and have characters side with you instead. So there's really a lot to explore there, thanks to it being so open-ended. The fact that there's really no level cap, you can do whatever you want, and you can really invest in one area if you want to.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple of questions that I have as a hardcore Fallout fan. There's some systems that they've taken out, they've added some new systems, and I'm just wondering how they all work. Of course, Special is back, but how is it that it works with the perks? How do you unlock and get the perks? They've taken away the karma system, as far as I understand.
Yep.
So how does that work in terms of followers? Like, how do you convince a follower to join you? Because of course in the other games it was like if you had low karma you could get certain followers, and then you had to re-roll and play again and have a high karma to get other followers.
It's a completely different system with the companions. It's not really difficult to get the companions. Typically it's just completing a quest or something. I don't know how many I've got. I've probably got 7 or 8, something like that. I don't know what the total is. But the thing is that when you have a follower, you want to do things that they like, because if you do things that they like, then you will eventually, by talking to them, unlock their companion-specific quests, and you can then max out your relationship with them and gain a bonus perk by having them as your companion. So that
So
is
it's like
sort of
if one of the companions likes lock picking, then the more locks you pick,
yes,
they
or
It
hacking.
works in like in terms of the actual companion system. It works like Mass Effect almost, that you have a companion which
Yep.
you do stuff that they appreciate in order for you to raise your specific reputation with that companion, unlock their quest, and then they become more effective in combat. But there is no like you're not locked out of several companions unless you do something like there is a point in the game where you can steer like in a certain way, and some companions won't want to follow you because of the decisions you make. But there's no high karma, low karma is completely been taken away.
No,
Okay.
but I mean, there are certain characters who like you doing things
Yeah.
for the people or
Yeah.
things like that. So they will sort of appreciate if you do something nice or etc. or the other way around. And of course, there's always the option of being weird and bringing your super mutant companion to the Brotherhood of Steel missions and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, another system that you, of course, touched upon there was the crafting system that they've introduced, where, well, the thing is, in playing kind of any Bethesda RPG, when you start out the game, you just pick up anything and everything until you become overburdened, and then you start like sorting out and throwing out stuff that you don't carry. But here, every single item can be kind of broken down and recrafted and used in building. So doesn't that quickly get like so much stuff to carry?
It's
and how
stressful.
does the inventory item actually stack up?
Well,
there.
oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You have the workshop. So basically, what you do when you get to workshop, you just clear all junk, and all the stuff that you have, you can just transfer over there, and you can use them later when you need to use them for building. So it is a problem, but you can also use your companion. It's basically a big pack mule, and then you'll store stuff at your settlement.
You'd be surprised as to how much dog meat can actually carry.
Yep.
Like little dog, a lot of muscle. He can carry a bunch of stuff for you.
I feel like this is actually part of the genius of the game. Not my cup of tea, collecting stuff and crafting
Spoons.
stuff. It's not how I tend to play these games. I tend to kind of lean into the story and try and build my adventure around kind of the narrative. But for people who do like base building, and there is a lot of people who like base building and crafting and picking up random shite from chests. People like that stuff, and what Bethesda have done is they've facilitated that wonderfully by giving those players, the kind of players who are going to sink in 200, 300, 1,000 hours into this game, they've given them extreme depth to play around with, and that's what's going to keep people playing this game for years, with mods and expansions and all of the other things that, they're still releasing decent single player generated mod campaigns for Fallout 3 and Fallout Vegas, and you can easily see the depth of the underlying mechanics and systems that they put in place here. You can easily see the same happening again here.
Yeah, and I mean it's fairly obvious where they got the whole idea for the crafting and the base building from. I mean, those were the highest downloaded mods for Skyrim, for example.
Yes,
I mean, they even released the DVD where you actually got your own homestead and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it's just
it's
like,
true,
okay, they're scaling it up, and of course, the success of Minecraft. This is kind of
Very much so. Yes.
in line with that.
But it is an ingenious move that it creates a lot of unnecessary like frustration and stress to pick up the right items. However, the game does a great job of giving you the ability to sort whatever you want. There's even a perk that highlights the objects that contain the raw material that you need in green, so that you can, when you're out there in the wasteland, you can sort of filter what you want, what you might want, what has the raw materials you need, and that kind of stuff. But I do think that is an ingenious move in that every item, even the most unlikely piece of crud you find out there, has a function. It gives the whole world a sense of purpose, that you can either use it for the base building, if you like that sort of thing, or you can use, like, even something like duct tape has adhesive, which you use to make mods for your for a piece of equipment that you've just picked up. It does
Every glue, collect every glue,
Yeah.
everything
Yes.
that has
Wonder
adhesive
glue.
in it.
Wonder glue and duct tape never run out of adhesive. It's used to make every single upgradable mod for every piece of armor and every weapon. So, but it's just I just think it's a great little piece of like information when you're going in, is that everything is useful. You can use it if you're looking for something to do. Just pick up stuff. Yeah. Even if you come overburdened, there's a cool. By the way, you should in the strength tree. There is a way to expand the amount of stuff you can carry before you're overburdened.
Okay.
And also you can be with another perk. You can be allowed to fast travel even if you are overburdened. Pretty smart to travel back and forth.
That is a very important one. Because
Very smart. Yeah.
always have to take the what's it called, the buff out that increases your strength.
Yeah.
Yes, to be able to fast travel back.
And then you get addicted and
then you get addicted to buff out.
Got
Then you
the
need to be
toll and stuff.
Yeah.
Doctor.
But yeah, you also touched upon another system there, the upgradability of weapons and armor.
Yeah.
And crafting in that direction as well.
It's and that's so deep. I mean.
And that the power armors are a system in themselves that I don't really play with power armors because I'm mainly stealth based, but that is a huge deal as well.
Yeah.
Getting the fusion cores and collecting armors and stuff.
Even by finding like various comics. By the way, there's spread out comics in various magazines in the entire world, which gives you like very small like upgrades, which is very cool, and they're all like looks like they're handmade by artists. So really cool.
So the what was it called?
But
The knockoff of
Grognak.
Conan. Grognak. Knockoff of Conan the Barbarian.
But one of the magazines gives you like collars like Hot Rod Red that you can apply to your power armors, which I thought was really cool. So I found one of them that allowed me to paint it red.
and
Which is
there's
very nice.
the tattoo magazine that gives you body art and stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just sitting here with like a very short little show where we have to sum up why Fallout 4 is on
magazines.
on the
That's why it's so great.
Yeah. And we could sit here forever, man. It's a game about the tiniest little details that, as Mike said, that the world. It's about the universe that it's so it's just immersive.
One question though, overall, do you think it was a good choice to add voice or not, or do you feel that?
Yeah, that's another thing that I was very concerned about.
I think it's a good choice. It doesn't spoil the immersion for me, and as so far, I haven't run into a situation where at least it stuck out to me that they were reusing or rehashing the same like types of dialogue. There is some spots, especially if you're doing stuff with the Minutemen, where there's a lot of repeated content where it said, well, I cleared out Campman X for you, and Quest Giver says, oh, that's great. The Minutemen can always use it. The expanding.
And it's not always in context either.
No.
Because also, looking at the way that the dialogue option is set up,
yes,
it feels a bit more Mass Effect-y.
Yeah.
In the sense that you get like short sentences and then they say maybe something completely. I've never liked that. I've always hated it.
Just give me what you say. Just tell me what you are gonna say.
Yeah.
But it's like, but then again. This is always going to be like a point of debate, at least when you're talking about deep RPGs, like of all series, is that how do you maintain like a streamlining process where you cut out the stuff that doesn't work without people like missing it or thinking that it's being dumbed down for new generations of gamers. And I've played Fallout 3 extensively, and I never felt like Fallout 4 was more made for like less intelligent players, or it was being like, scaled down in order to fit a younger generation. It always feels smart and it always feels intelligent, even though that the conversation system might be easier to wrap your head around than it was in Fallout 3.
Now, I think that what saves it and what makes you don't think about it is that the actual voice acting is very good.
Yeah, that's true.
To Mike's point about them being mannequins, yes, it does feel a little bit weird, and you're not really sure who are synths and not because of the way they look.
They're all synths.
Yeah, they're all synths. That's what we're finding out right at the end of the game.
But finish that point. Sorry.
Yeah. So just the quality of the voice work, I think, saves it. Otherwise, I would love for there to be sort of more weird things to say and be more in control of that. But I think the quality outweighs it.
Yeah.
Now, let's here quickly wrap up final words on Fallout 4 and why it deserves to be the number 2 best game of the year 2015.
Fallout 4 is a big, muddled, ambitious, messy masterpiece, I would say.
Yeah.
As is most Bethesda RPGs.
Yeah, you guys wanna add to that?
I mean, it's very what should I say? I mean, it just immerses you. It just you just play through the night, and it's that kind of game where you just don't stop playing, and there's a lot of fun to be had. So that's it.
2 words: noir synths. That's it.
Yes.
Nick Valentine is a great character.
Nick Valentine is a fantastic character.
Yeah, so look out for that as you play through Fallout 4. Again, this was the second best game of the year. Make sure to tune in tomorrow where we reveal the big winner of 2015. Until then, see ya.
Let's go, pal.